Most men don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they freeze. So let me start this with something that's going to sting a little bit, but that's good because most men don't ruin their lives in some dramatic way. They don't just quit everything. They don't blow it all up at once. They freeze. They stall. They get stuck in the moment. They drift and they stay busy whilst quietly avoiding the one or two things that would actually move their life forward in a meaningful way. And just because it doesn't look like failure from the outside, they just let it slide. So if your life looks fine on paper, but feels off inside, then this video is for you. So keep on listening. And if at any point this video starts feeling uncomfortably accurate, comment the word blueprint or click the link in the description and get the exact system that I use myself and I give to all my private clients to help rebuild momentum without all the fucking feel-good bullshit tactics. Now let's get stuck into the video and let's talk about the kind of failure that nobody talks about. Because you don't just wake up one day and decide to self-sabotage. It happens in those little gaps between the moments where you tell yourself that I'll do it later. I just need to think it through. Excuse me. You say that I'll start properly, I'll come up with a perfect plan. Because you're not lazy, you're not stupid, and you're not broken, you're overwhelmed. And overwhelmed men don't quit. They hesitate. They open the laptop. They stare at the screen. They check their phone. They reorganize their to-do list. They do everything except the actual thing. That's not weakness. That's just pressure without the release valve. And this is where most advice you see on the internet completely misses the mark for real men like me and you. Here's why motivation advice fails smart men, because most self-improvement content is the problem. Push harder, want it more, raise your standards, be a man. That works for about 3 days. Then real life shows up, deadlines, kids, bills, emails, clients, managers, expectations, bills, noise. And suddenly your big plan collapses under basic pressure. So here's the uncomfortable truth. Smart men don't fail because they lack motivation. They fail because they overthink under pressure. Because the smarter you are, the easier it actually becomes to justify the avoidance. Because you can always find a reason to delay. You can always explain why right now isn't the right time. You can always convince yourself that thinking about doing the action counts as progress, but it doesn't if you don't take any action, because Joey's problem wasn't discipline. So let me tell you about a client of mine called Joey for a second. A lot of you will relate to his story, because Joey is an estate agent. He's good at his job, makes decent money, and he's not struggling in any obvious way from the outside looking in. But every conversation we had sounded the same. He just kept saying, I'm overwhelmed. My head feels like it's all over the place. I know what I need to do. I just can't find to make myself do it consistently. And I know that sounds familiar to you. Because Joey wasn't failing. He was freezing. Every time the pressure built up, his nervous system went into that avoidance mode. Calls got delayed. Tasks piled up. Confidence dipped. Then came the self-criticism. Why am I like this? I should be doing better than this. What's wrong with me? Why am I such a fuck up? What if everything just goes wrong and I have to go get a factory job? Nothing was even wrong with him. He just had no way to interrupt that negative spiral that takes us down so quick. So here's the mistake that most men make here. Here's what most men do when they feel overwhelmed, anxious, under pressure. They start to come up with a plan to fix their whole life. New routines, new gadgets, new goals, new plans, new systems that they never stick to. That only adds more pressure. You don't need more structure when you're already overwhelmed. You need less choice. Because choice is what's keeping you stuck. Every time you debate whether to act, you drain your energy. Every time you wait to feel ready, momentum just leaks. So we didn't give Joey a new magical routine waking up at 5 a.m. We gave him one rule that's worked so well for him, and then we build on top of that. But here's the rule that changed everything. We set a simple reminder for him. Whenever he feels overwhelmed at work, he does this. Bangs one set of press-ups till failure, gets that blood flowing. That's it. No gym, no program, no tracking, no perfect routine, and no motivation required. Why? Because it forces action before getting overwhelmed by the thought. Because his body moves, his breathing changes, and his head shuts the fuck up. And immediately after, while he's in that good state, he makes all those sales calls he's been avoiding. Not the whole to-do list, not fix his whole life. A few phone calls that he's been avoiding. and those making money, and it gets momentum going, and then you want to do more. So here's why this works without all the scientific theory. Let me be clear, the press-ups are not the solution. They are a circuit breaker, because overwhelm isn't just a thinking problem, it's a nervous system problem. Because when your body's stuck, your mind starts telling lies. It starts to tell you, not now, too much. You need to get clear about all this first. That's self-sabotage disguised as logic. But action cuts through that. Not massive action, not heroic effort, small, physical, undeniable action. Because momentum is a privilege. It's not just given out. Because here's something that most men don't realise until it's gone. Momentum is a privilege. When you have it, everything feels easier. Decisions are quicker. Confidence feels natural. Life feels light and exciting and unlimited energy. But most men treat momentum like a toy. So then they stay up late, skip training, delay those sales calls like Joey does, break those small promises to themselves, and then they act surprised when all of a sudden momentum disappears and they feel stagnant. You don't lose momentum overnight, you leak it quietly, daily, through avoidance. So here's why you drift instead of quitting completely, because this is important. Most men don't quit because quitting would force honesty. If you quit, you'd have to admit to yourself that this isn't working. I'm scared. I need to change something. But drifting lets you pretend that you're still in the game. So you can tell yourself, I'm just busy. It's just a phase. Life's stressful right now. I'm going to get fully locked in again soon. Then weeks pass, then months, and the quiet cost is that self-respect. But confidence isn't lost. It's withdrawn. Because confidence doesn't just disappear randomly. It's withdrawn every time you don't do what you said you would do. Missed workouts, avoided calls, delayed decisions, broken promises to yourself, and each one sends a message to your nervous system that I can't rely on this man. So it stops backing you completely. That's why confidence feels so unstable, like it could be here 1 minute and not the next, because it's not built on consistent evidence. And that's exactly why simple systems beat those big plans that are hard to stick to. And most men overcomplicate this every time. They want the perfect system, the ideal routine, the full reset. But the system that saves you is the one that you can execute even on your worst days. Not your best days, but a good system works when you're tired and pissed off. It works when you're stressed. It works when you're down in the dumps. It works when you don't feel like it. It works when you're high off life and feeling amazing. And that's why this rule matters more than the routine itself. He bangs one set of press-ups and then makes those sales calls. Simple, repeatable, reliable, and generates momentum. And this is bigger than fitness or sales. This isn't about the press-ups. It's not about the press-ups, and it's not about the sales. It's about teaching your nervous system one thing. When I feel like I'm under pressure, I take action and move the needle forward, and that identity compounds. Once you prove that to yourself in small moments, it starts to carry on everywhere else. Work, relationships, health, money. One kept promise leads to another. And that's why high performers feel so stuck. Here's something that I see constantly. Men who are capable, men who are smart, men who are doing quote unquote okay, but they just feel flat, restless, disconnected. Not because their life is bad, but because their days don't move forward in any meaningful way. Same patterns, same avoidance, same internal negotiation. Because you don't need a new identity. You find how you are. You just need fewer negotiations with yourself where you let yourself off the hook. And that's exactly what I do when I help with these men that come to work with me. And let me just get clear about what I do. I help successful men who've lost their momentum to eliminate that self-sabotage and become unfuckwithable, become the best, most powerful version of themselves. Not through motivation or hype, through a simple daily system that works even when life is heavy. So if that sounds like something you need in your life, which I'm assuming it is because you've clicked on this video and got this far into it, click the link in the bio or comment the word blueprint and get a free copy of the Become Unfuckwithable Blueprint, the free system I use myself and I give to all my clients. Because the shift that will change your life isn't doing more, it's moving first before your head gets involved and talks you out of it. It's having something small and physical to fall back on when the pressure hits. Because when your head starts lying to you, your body tells the truth. So a question that you need to sit with and really think about the answer is this. When pressure hits, do you freeze or do you move? because that answer determines everything, and it's going to decide whether you stay stuck when life throws shit at you, because it throws shit at all of us. You don't need to fix your whole life. You need a way to interrupt that self-sabotage pattern in real time. That's how momentum comes back. Not with motivation, but with self-trust. And self-trust is built one kept promise at a time. So if you want help building that into your life, you know exactly what to do. Click the link in the bio, get your free copy of the Become Unfuckwithable Blueprint, or comment the word blueprint and I'll send it through. Or if you've got any specific questions on any of this, click on my social media links and send me a message. I reply to every single message. It's as simple as that. Let's fucking go.